Hello and welcome everyone, this is Mike. I'm the founder and CEO of SuiteDash. Welcome to Academy Sessions. These sessions are designed to help you by learning directly from experts in our community who have hands-on experience with SuiteDash. What makes these sessions special is that they are hosted by SuiteDash experts from our community. We've given these experts free rein to develop these presentations based on their actual experiences helping SuiteDash customers just like you, and this allows for a truly authentic and practical learning experience. Each expert brings their own presentation style and perspective, and that's what makes Academy Sessions so valuable. We've entrusted the host to shape the content in a way that best addresses the common questions and challenges our customers face every day, and this approach ensures that the information is not only practical, but also deeply connected to real-world use cases. Be sure to subscribe to SuiteDash on YouTube and follow us on all other social media channels to stay up to date on new features, announcements, and promotions. Okay, that's my intro. Let's get on with the session.
Today we're going to learn about SuiteDash pop-up notices, 3 key advantages of SuiteDash pop-up notices, as well as some creative applications that we can put to use in our own business with respect to SuiteDash pop-up notices. Now, SuiteDash pop-up notices allow us to trigger pop-up notices for circles, teams, staff, and contacts. We can customize both the visibility settings and the placement of these pop-up notices, as well as control the time frame that these pop-up notices are visible. Now, a pop-up notice is a customizable message that you can present to contacts and staff members. It can serve as an additional signpost to either group about actions that need to be taken, or to supply additional information about urgent events happening within your organization. The first key advantage of pop-up notices is automating mile markers. Combining automations that change circle and team affiliation at key points of a process allows us to control the visibility of pop-up notices via the new team or circle affiliation. The second key advantage of pop-up notices is highlighting importance. Pop-up notices allow us to underscore the urgency or importance level of the message we want to share with our contacts or our team. And the third key advantage of pop-up notices simply is getting stuff done. The scheduling opportunities of pop-up notices provide the added benefit of getting messages out at specific time frames. This allows us to notify both clients and staff about tasks that need to be done at a certain interval of time. To demonstrate the awesome power that pop-up notices hold for us, I will first be moving through a customized client onboarding process, after which I'll flip over to the admin side and show the visibility opportunities for contacts, staff, circles, and teams, and provide a few examples with some unique scheduling use cases on the staff side. With our overview complete, we're going to begin by moving over to the customized client onboarding. I'll see you there. So, Mr. Robert Petrie of the Alan Brady Show had received our communications to start the onboarding process. He went through the onboarding process. Maybe we just needed him to supply some additional information via an update form that was attached to an onboarding flow. And now we want to give a more stylized presentation moving forward. So in the dashboard here, we already see that he has step 1 taken care of. And there's not really too much information to go off of other than here's this step 2 process. And there's even a button here that says sign client agreement. But down here, we see that there's some additional information giving a greater degree of context. And we see here, action required. Please click the button above that says Sign Client Agreement. It goes on to say you'll be taken to your available documents where you'll read and e-sign the client contract. And we can even let Mr. Petrie in this case know what to expect moving forward. Note, once you've signed the client agreement, you'll need to set your desired meeting frequency for the performance review services we've discussed. And down here we have a little note that if he needs help with any part of this process, he can click here to submit a support ticket, and that, of course, is linked to our custom support form. So we're going to go ahead as Mr. Robert Petrie, and we're going to sign this client agreement. So we're in our documents as Mr. Robert Petrie, and we see that we have a new client agreement awaiting our signature. We're going to go into it. Read, everything looks good, and we're going to click here to sign. Next, confirm signature. Complete. You are done. Wonderful. So let's head back to the dashboard here. Now we see we've moved on to step 3 in the process, and we have another note here letting us know what we need to do and what is coming next. Please click the button above that says Schedule Meeting Frequency. You'll choose from either monthly or quarterly on the form, then submit the form by clicking the Set Frequency button. This lets us know how often we need to schedule the performance review meetings with you. Note, once you've let us know how often you want your performance review meetings to be scheduled, you'll automatically be moved to the next step in the onboarding process. Hint, of course, down here, if you need help, click here to submit a support ticket, linking to our support form. So we'll go ahead and schedule our meeting frequency. We already have the Alan Brady Show Incorporated company name here. Very convenient. And the meeting frequency that we want to set, let's say in this case, we'll do monthly. Because sometimes when it comes to quarterly timelines, things can get lost in the weeds. Sometimes there are things that are of greater urgency that we need to capitalize on in this moment. So we'll choose monthly and we'll set the frequency. Look at that. We're moved to step 4 in our onboarding process. And we see very similarly here the button for the action that we need to take to choose the billing schedule and this beautiful pop-up notice that provides us additional information as to what we need to do and what is coming next. Please click the button above that says Choose Billing Schedule. You'll choose from either monthly billing or quarterly billing on the form, then submit the form by clicking Set Billing Schedule button. Note, once your billing schedule is set, you'll be redirected to the billing dashboard to remit payment for the generated invoice for your initial deposit. Awesome. Let's choose our billing schedule now. There are some additional instructions here. That's nice. Want monthly billing? Place a 1 next to this billing frequency. If not, enter a 0 here. Want quarterly billing? Same thing. You would place a 1 in this field here, or you would leave this at 0. Since we have our meeting frequency set for every month, we'll go ahead and set the billing to monthly, and we'll set the billing schedule. Look at that. We already are in the billing dashboard here, and clicking here, we can see the totals that are due and the deposit that we need to make here. Since we don't have any of our payment gateways set up in Vandelay Industries, I'm going to go in the administrative backend and record this payment so we can move Mr. Petrie and the Alan Brady Show to the final step in the process. And we're back with Mr. Petrie. We see here all of the steps in our new client onboarding process have been complete. Thankfully, Mr. Petrie had those pop-up notices in front of him letting him know what needed to be done and what will happen next. That way, there's a greater degree of transparency, as well as a heightened sense of trust between the client and the business. Next, we're going to move forward and show you how we can set these pop-up notices up strategically for staff members and teams. So I'm logging into my portal to start work for the day, and I see here, attention all staff members, performance reviews are due today. Please upload your quarterly performance review to your staff folder. If I already have it done, I can click here to access my files. And if I need to speak to somebody about my performance review before I submit it, I can click here and send a new message. That's really cool. Now, this doesn't give us a whole lot of information with respect to how we have it set up. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you exactly how we have this particular pop-up set up. That way you know how it is supposed to work in practice. So we're going to head up here to our profile and we are going to click pop-up notices underneath custom content. Click the pop-up notices. And here we see the attention all staff members pop-up. It was created today. It's active. We're going to go in here and we are going to edit this just to see how it is that this is set up on the staff side. So here we have schedule this notice and date time scheduling. So we've scheduled this notice to start today and at 9 a.m. The end time is also today, but at 4 p.m. So basically, we want our performance reviews in by 4 p.m. And we also have this beautiful time-shifted delivery option as well. Toggling this option, this radio button here, next to time-shifted delivery, shows and hides based on each individual user's time zone. As an example, I am in Central Time, and I want this notice to be seen at the same time of day as, for example, my contractor in Mountain Time. And so even though there's the 1 hour time difference between Mountain and Central in this case, it's going to show for them 9 a.m. in their time zone. That's brilliant. We can also put standard time delivery as well. And essentially what that does is in your organization settings, you have a standardized time zone that you set for all of the different things. And then when somebody, for example, logs into the portal and changes their time zone, that changes these parameters for the time shifted delivery. But if you had all of your clients and, for this example, all of your staff members in the same time zone, this option is going to be a lot more efficient and make more sense. But we have time shifted delivery just because we have contractors all over the place. Also, we've assigned this to roles. We want all of the staff members to be notified of this action that needs to be taken. And we could have also assigned to contact staff circles or teams, and we could have just simply chosen all of the different teams as well. But I've decided to use the roles instead. We have the styling options here. We see the background color over there is white. We have the text color as this beautiful dark blue. And then we have a little border to give it a little pop of color. I gave it that red for the Vandelay Industries branding. Down here we have our persistent options, so we can set this as active or inactive. So as an example, maybe we don't want to show this right now. We can simply set that as inactive and then turn it on when we need to. the show notice for X number of times. Pretty straightforward, self-explanatory. This notice is going to show a maximum of 7 times to the staff members. And up here, we would want to set the location. So let's say we only wanted to set this notice to show when our staff first log into the dashboard, or when they are at their dashboard rather. We would set that location here. To show it pretty much everywhere, we would simply deselect that and leave this as is. And you may have noticed that when I switched from looking at the dashboard, we see the pop-up, and I switched over to here, that pop-up is still there. So if we wanted to limit where this pop-up notice is seen, then we would just go here and select where we want this pop-up notice to be shown. So we're going to go down here, and we have the option to reset the count. And we can all read here, if enabled, the persistence options will be applied to notices which have been already displayed. Otherwise, they will only apply to the notices which have not yet been displayed. In other words, we can see here, and I'll just exit out of this quickly, that we have 2 different pop-up notices here. These are both pop-up notices for staff members. And essentially, when we reset the count, if we haven't seen, for example, the note to projects staff, that notice will still show the 7 times. Even if we've already seen this notice, the attention all staff members pop-up notice, say 6 times as an example. And we'll go ahead and we'll just toggle that on. And we'll save it. Now, you might be wondering, Mitchell, there's this note to projects staff. And let's explore that for a second. Before going into the options and the details and all that, I just want to show you very quickly here. We'll go into projects, and we'll pretend as though we have projects open. We don't have any projects open right now, but we see here, note to projects staff. Okay. As you begin working on client projects today, remember that as you complete the tasks, you must provide an internal summary of the actions you've taken. Additionally, if you run into issues during the workflow, please be sure to fill out the incident report form. That way, moving forward, we can streamline both the system and our processes. So, what's going on here? Why are we seeing this here, but we didn't see it in the other places? Let's explore that. We'll head back over to our pop-up notices. Wonderful. We'll go into options and we'll edit it. Oh, we see here, show the notice only at this location, and we've chosen projects. That's all great. And we can even, once again, set all of the different visibility options here. We can even go ahead, as before, and assign it to staff, circles, or teams. That way, only the projects team, as an example, sees this notice when they go into the projects area. We'll just go ahead and we're going to save that. Now, to cap this off, we're going to create together a brand new pop-up notice. And I'm not going to save this pop-up notice that we create, but we're going to go through and see a creative way how you could apply this in real time. So we're going to go here and we're going to add a pop-up notice. We're going to give our pop-up notice a title. We're going to say lunchtime, something like that. And we'll say time to take your lunch. That's not how you spell lunch. So, and I'll just make that bold. Why not? And we are not going to give the pop-up notice any location barriers with respect to where it is shown. And we are going to instead just streamline this a little bit and assign it to all of the available teams. Negotiations team manager. We'll keep the background color as white, and the text color will do this. We'll do a nice green. Why not? And then the border color, we'll do something like this blue here. Awesome sauce. Active, show for X number of times. I'm going to go up here and we're going to schedule this notice. And let's say we do time shifted delivery, and we'll do time scheduling. And we'll say from to, and we will show this. We will always show this on every page load for this particular pop-up notice. Yes, that's active. And so what's going on here? The cool thing that we've just done is we've created a little reminder notice to our staff members, all of our staff members, as a matter of fact, in their time zone from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It's time for lunch. This will show up every day. Every day. And so this is a way that you can remind your staff that they need to take a break, or remind them that, hey, we only have an hour left in our workday. Please submit XYZ information that we need for you to submit today, whatever the case. And so that's a very creative way that we can go about using pop-up notices with respect to the staff members as well. Now, again, I'm not going to save this one here. However, another thing that I'm going to show you, and we're just going to go into one of these. If you recall from our demonstration earlier with Mr. Robert Petrie, we saw that there were pop-up notices that shown to Mr. Petrie throughout the onboarding process that we created. And it's a very simple process that we set up with respect to the pop-up notices. So we'll go into this first one here. We're going to edit it. And we see all the different things that we noticed in the demonstration. We see the location is the dashboard that we have this shown at. And when it comes to the assign to, the assignment options, the assign to contact, staff, circles, or teams, we've assigned a specific circle to that pop-up notice. And when, as an example, Mr. Petrie needed to sign the agreement, this pop-up notice and all of the different things that you saw in the demonstration were shown. Once he signed the client agreement, then via automation, he was moved out of this sign agreement circle and moved into the next phase, which showed all of those different things on the dashboard, in addition to the brand new pop-up notice, giving him instructions as to what needs to be done next. So with that, even though I haven't made any changes to this, I'm going to save, measure twice, cut once, as I always say. I really hope that you enjoyed this walkthrough of SuiteDash pop-up notices, and let us know in the comments below anything that may have been confusing. Perhaps you want to see a follow-up video, or even if you just found it helpful, let us know. As always, we appreciate the opportunity to consistently serve you and look forward to doing so well into the future.